Alright, time for more Goosebumps reviews. And what better day to review Goosebumps than on a rainy-ish, gray-skied afternoon? I think it's the perfect time, even though you can't see it because I'm on green screen. It is the perfect time to review Let's Get Invisible. Now, this one is one of the more atmospheric Goosebumps books. It's not one of my absolute favorites, but it definitely does have a cold feeling to it, if that makes any sense. So this book is about a group of kids. They're at one of their friends' house. They go up into the attic. I forget which reason. They were at like a birthday party or something like that, and they find this mirror up there. And if I remember correctly, the light on the mirror is what does this thing. When they pull the string, turn light on or whatever, they go invisible. And there's a whole like cold, smoky world on the other side of the mirror, and they have problems with their reflections wanting to trade places and stuff like that. Yeah, like I said, not one of my absolute favorites, but I did enjoy it. Like I said, this one is a little bit more of one of the spookier ones, because some Goosebumps are more adventurous and kind of fun, and some are very much more atmospheric and scary, for kids books. And this one was a little bit more on the creepier side. So if you like that kind of thing, I suggest to check this one out. So I finished the Divergent trilogy. I have not read the spin-off or whatever it is, the 4 series. I don't know if they're spin-offs, they're sequels, or prequels, or what they are, but I know they deal with the character of 4. Anyways, I do plan on reading those eventually. But anyways, I finished the trilogy itself. And while I enjoyed the concept at the beginning of the series, and I thought it was interesting, I'm just going to go ahead and say that I wasn't crazy about the ending, and it's not because of the one thing that happens that so many people hated. My favorite series and my favorite book is The Hunger Games, so I'm used to, I guess characters dying, because I've read that one several times. But the thing is, the book itself just felt like it had so much going on that was crammed into this book. It just felt like it had too many reveals. I don't know if I bought all of it, and the time frame of this world, I just don't know. In some ways it's interesting, and in another way I just don't see it happening. I'm trying not to spoil things, and I'm trying to remember myself. So I just felt a whole lot of things were going on. Like, I enjoyed the writing style, I enjoyed the voices of the characters. I thought those were well done, but I just thought how their world was formed, how their society came to be. The story behind it was just too complicated, too much. Yeah, that's just what I felt. I think I liked the first 2 books better, and I don't think I'm in the minority of that one, but I just dislike it for a different reason than most people do. Or at least what I've heard most people. Yeah, Triss and the other people fighting against, what was her name? Janine, and the other bad erudites and stuff about, I don't know, pure this and pure that, and divergence stuff. yeah, it was good, but not perfect. This book was short, so there's not a whole lot to say about it, except I don't care how old you are, you need to read this because it's ridiculous and hilarious. So I remember reading this book as a kid, and I was just looking for short books, like kids books, to kind of up my reading goal. I'm like, I want to get as close as possible, and so I'll just read some short books, but obviously I wasn't able to go and get physical books. I'm like, I'm gonna look on YouTube because people read kids books all the time. And I found Cat Kong, which is as ridiculous as it sounds and as its cover looks. But it's worth it. These mice sail to this island where they find Cat Kong. Yes, the cat version of King Kong. And they bring him back, to their city. And, he wreaks havoc. I need to find this book and own it just for the cover alone. Like, I don't really judge on covers. Like, if I like a book, I will collect the different cover versions of it, right? But I like the story. Overall, the story is just fun and ridiculous and silly. And yeah, if you want something just for pure enjoyment, read Cat Kong. Piano lessons can be murder. This one was strange. It was. This is about a boy who moves into a new house, and he finds a piano and he gets interested, and so his parents basically sign him up for lessons, and the teacher is very weird and strange things happen. It's kind of an ending I guess you wouldn't expect, or a twist you wouldn't expect, so I'll give it that. It's not a bad book. It moves pretty fast, but it's one of those stranger ones. Yeah, but it was a fun read. Not in a top 20 kind of good read, but not go eat worms bad either. Just strange, which can be fun. So if you like that, check this one out. Slappy in Dream World. So this is a Slappy World book. I feel this is one of the better Slappy books. Slappy can be hit or miss for me. I do enjoy him as a character, but the premise of the books are pretty much exactly the same all the time. And as I said, it might be an unpopular opinion, but I don't know. I felt for series, at least in the original, I enjoyed Monster Boat a little bit better. I guess just more that you can do with that. Because doll horror, it follows the same thing all the time. No matter if it's actual horror, like Child's Play, or this, Goosebumps, Slappy, it's always doll comes to life, nobody believes the kid, people get hurt, buy a doll. Like, nobody's ever able to fend the doll off. Like, I get that, they're surprised by it and everything, but somebody along the lines has to, be able to beat this doll up, right? It's a doll. So, doll stuff is kind of hit and miss. It's scary, it's terrifying, but, it's the same. Anyways, so this is about, I believe it was two kids. Their parents are doing some type of sleep experiment. I forget what the hell their jobs are. And they hook up this thing to Slappy as a joke. And I guess it has the brain waves or whatever. He's alive, but obviously they disregard it as some kind of mistake because he's a dummy. And Slappy ends up invading people's dreams. So this was an interesting one. Fun, kind of spooky. Like I said, I like this one. It's one of the better ones.